well, I'll show you this anyway. So, like, yeah, I started with, that was my first design, and I always draw everything on paper. So, like, basically, all I knew I was going to get the hardtail kit, so I just looked up pictures of it online, and I traced it as best I could. I like to do with the hardtail kits is I like to just get the hardtail kit, and I'll build the whole front end of the frame off of that. That's what I did with that bike. That's what I did with that bike somewhat. That still has a stock Harley neck on it. But yeah, I drew a different couple iterations, but I kept finding myself going full circle and making the bike so custom that it didn't look old school anymore. You're kind of getting into like
a new school area.
Yeah, like Orange County chopper stuff, the stuff that's like, $20,000 choppers that nobody wants anymore. But I kind of landed on something like that, and I was like, how can I make this bike weigh nothing? And yeah, I think I drew that too. It's pretty much the same thing. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with my Sportster, where the oil tank is just a part of the bike. I'm going to try to put the oil tank into the fender and just have the gas tank attached to the frame and stuff. It honestly makes everything so much easier to paint, and hardware weighs a lot. Yeah, just
do it all at once. So it's like that bike, so you're going to kind of combine it though.
Yeah.
Does it make it heavier or lighter than just like having everything separate?
Lighter.
So
I mean, if you think about it, instead of having two borders, you have a frame and then the tank sitting on top of the frame, you have to have a border to enclose the tank completely. So you're not only getting rid of two pieces, like a whole wall of metal, because now the frame is that closed part of the tank. It's just that, along with hardware. Like, hardware's heavy.
Yeah, especially some of the stuff that you were using. I saw on your other bike, dude, that thing's like a couple inches.
Like the amount of hardware I took off, like this. Like, this is all off the purple bike. That bike. And this is probably, that's probably 15 pounds. Not 15, it's probably more like 10. But that
alone is a lot.
Yeah, that's why I try to there's still stuff bolted onto the bike. Like stuff I like to be somewhat modular. Like, I might not always want to run an oil cooler. I might not always want highway pegs, but everything else, like the gas tank's attached to the frame and the oil tank's a part of the frame. It's all just one piece. And before I put everything on it and it was just a frame, after I painted it, I could hold this frame out in front of me like straight arms, because it probably weighs, I don't know, like 70, 80 pounds. It's not a lot.
And that's with tank, oil.
Mm-hmm. Of course, nothing fluid in it, but
yeah, just a frame alone.
Because it's just sheet metal and tubing. Like, there's nothing to it. So I remember I was moving this bike around, just picking it up and walking it somewhere, and it didn't get heavy until you put wheels and an engine in it. But
how much do you think the paint weighs, though?
Yeah, dude, it does get heavier, because if it's bare metal, you're kind of like, yeah, whatever. But then, like, dude, metal flake, and like, God, and when you paint stuff, you see your clear coat go down. You feel cans of paint, they're heavy, but then, like, now the can of paint's empty. Like, where's all the paint? It's that weight is now on the bike. It's true, man. Paint is super heavy. That's why I feel like a lot of these performance chopper guys and stuff, they just kind of polish their bikes, and the whole thing's just polished steel. And I love that stuff too.
Yeah, I'm more the rat rod. You see my garage.
Yeah,
but this is just like so pretty. How many layers do you think that you did on that?
Oh man, shit, you can count. So of course there's no there is true black base coat. So underneath this black base coat is the epoxy primer, which I like to use like a high build epoxy primer, because it kind of just fills in imperfections and stuff. And instead of Bondo on seams and everything, I like to use JB Weld instead, because JB Weld is gasoline resistant, oil resistant. It's like good up to like 400 degrees. So if my bike's 400 degrees, I got more problems than my JB Weld melting off my bike, right? My bike's probably on fire. But so that, after you get it all smooth out, you put on that high build epoxy primer, which is this gray stuff. It's really awesome. You can sand that down, make everything even smoother. Then you put down a black base coat. And what that does is that adds depth for your metal flake. And you put metal flake down, it's just a metal flake clear coat mixture. But when you put that on there, it's really rough. It's almost like sandpaper. So now after you do that, you got to bury it, probably 2 to 3 heavy coats of clear. And then after that, that's, you got to sand down that clear coat. You got to make the metal flake not textured unless you want it to be textured. Then you can start doing your airbrush stuff, which I do everything with just a tiny airbrush. And honestly, this style of paint, about 90% of your time goes to taping, because each color is 1 day of painting. So like, yeah. So after it's all taped off, I tape it in a way that I pull off one stage, I'll paint it. And then once that's done, you pull off the next stage and you paint that. Just as a tiny airbrush, so you can be careful. The scales took forever because you get these little templates
and going all the way down for every single one.
Yeah, it's a line. I put down the black first. Actually, I do it black, and then you just do that the whole way up, and that's here, all over the frame, and then after that, I just put gold candy paint on it. It has to be candy paint because candy paint is translucent. It just puts down whatever color you want, but it'll still let that flake shine through. But the black that I used does not. So the flake isn't really shining through on any of the black. And just...
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. But it'd be thicker on some of these areas, so like you'll feel like the little grooves.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I'm a somewhat perfectionist, but like, so I get fed up too, because like some of you can feel the rise in some of the paint in some places, and just like that's the levels of different layers of paint, man. And like, because after you do all this taping and airbrushing and all that stuff, you got to bury it again in clear. Just absolutely bury it, and then you bury it, and depending if you want it to look like glass or not, it's not really a show bike. This is my daily. You bury it in clear, you sand it down, and it's not going to be perfect. You don't want to go too deep, or you'll cut your candy paint right off with sandpaper. Then you got to bury it again once you cut it down, and then bury it again, cut it down. And you just do that as many times as you want until it's as flat as you want. And if you get really comfortable, I did not buff this bike, so I used to do that. So like after you are done with your clearance stuff, you wet sand it with like 1,000 grit and just keep going up like 1,500 grit, 2,000 grit, 2,500 grit until it's like super, super glossy. And then you buff it with like buffing compound and it looks like glass. But personally, I don't like to do that because once you buff it once, you got to keep buffing it almost. It's just what it feels like because it doesn't
keep keeping it clean.
It doesn't last as long, I feel like. And just, I don't know, by the time that this kind of rough clear coat is all faded and messed up and stuff, I'll probably be tired of the paint job and I'll paint it again. Because I mean, already just like I ride my bikes, like I spilled gas out of here, so it peeled up some of the clear.
It's a daily. It's not like you're
Like I got some gas leaking out of my petcock, so it's peeling up right here. Which I mean, that's an old school trick that I've found out. Black nail polish is your best friend. Like
you just touch it up and it kind of keeps it from cracking anymore.
Yeah, so you can cut off Pete. So especially with gas will get under the paint and it will seep. So I need to fix this part right here, because what will happen when my vibration absolutely assists the gas in doing this, it will actually creep upwards and it can ruin this whole side of the tank if you don't stop it. So you cut out the bad part, black nail polish it in, and it's just, nail polish is enamel. It's tough. It doesn't care about gas. That's why you need a chemical to get it off. So, and this works for dings and stuff too. Like a lot of friends I've seen, just like they'll have like a black bike or even a sparkly bike, but that's why I have this too. If I ding it before I do candy on it, I can hit it with sparkle nail polish. Glitter. Yeah, it you'll never know. Yeah. Like, of course, the sparkles in here are a little bit bigger than my micro metal flake, but
you blend it, and especially in those little spots.
There's probably like 4 or 5 spots on this. I don't even know where they are anymore, but I was like, I dinged it while I was moving, and I was like, oh shit, because I don't have a paint booth. I painted this in my backyard in a greenhouse.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on your Instagram.
Which my neighbors, I mean, I saw some suspicious looks from my neighbors because they probably watched too much TV, but they just kept seeing me coming in and out of this greenhouse with a gas mask on. Their kids are playing in their backyard and they're like just giving me weird looks. And I'm like, I'm not cooking math. Okay, I'm painting a motorcycle, and they seen the bikes in the driveway, and they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, did you do this? This is a transfer, right?
Yeah. So this is like super popular now. I've done it for years, but I'm starting to see more and more of it, which is awesome. Some people consider it cheating, but I don't really care. This is called water slide paper. You can find it at any mom's craft store. It's so moms and grandmas can put pictures of their kids on their coffee mugs if they want, and just it's like a big gloss piece of paper. You can use an inkjet printer. God, what's that artist's name? I'm drawing a blank. I should know it because I stole his art. But yeah, he does all kinds of cool scenes like that. I'm actually going to look up his name because that's not right to
swipe it, not give him credit.
Exactly. He's got a strange name, and I already have a problem with names.
Yeah, because you did your purple bike too. I remember that. You got your dog on that one.
Yeah, I have a picture of my dog on that one, and the real reason for that was like that was my first chopper, and just I was a little bit wilder back then. Like I was 20 when I built that bike, and I used to do a lot of stupid stuff. But the picture of my dog reminded me, is like, I got to get home and feed my dog, so don't do anything too stupid, right?
That's awesome.
Ultimately, and also too, it's just it seemed fitting because I didn't have much money at that time, but I had a mentor who's an amazing bike painter, and I said, "Hey, man, candy paint's expensive. Like, what's some paint that you don't use or don't want that you can just give me?" He gave me purple and magenta. He said, "Nobody wants a purple and a magenta bike," and I was like, "I'll do it. I don't care." And then for a long time, I had the only purple and magenta bike at any shows. All you see is like flames and skulls and naked girls on bikes, but I have a purple and magenta bike with my dog on it. And a lot of people joke that you got to be a tough motherfucker to be riding a pink and purple bike around with a picture of your dog. And I was like, not really. Like, not really. I don't know who's gonna see that and try to mess with me.
Yeah.
God, what is Viking painting?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick myself as soon as I hear the.
Yeah, and you did the helmets and all that. This one's the match, right?
No, so that kind of just happened by accident. So this helmet used to just be like spray painted, and I like to test out color schemes on helmets. That's a picture of me when I was a kid. I grew up on motorcycles.
There you go. Get the glare out of there.
God,
look at that name.
Actually, I have it saved in a folder.
Dude, this artwork is awesome. I love it because it's not like you don't care about show. You just freaking ride it. Mm-hmm. Build it and ride it. Look at some of this stuff.
That is just like.
What's up, baby girl? Hi.
Yeah, that's my manager.
Mine's my supervisor.
Yeah, supervisor. God, where is you're gonna have to edit this out? Me getting hung up on a name.
No, we're doing a one take, man.
Oh shit.
Check out your stickers and stuff while you're doing it. Oh, yeah, your Instagram on there too.
Yeah. It took a lot of convincing to do that.
Dude, I've seen your 7 videos. I think you need to do more YouTube videos, dude.
My issue is time, and also too, I found out that like I was so focused on making the video, my quality of work just really went down because I need to finish this to make the video for the viewers and stuff because I'm trying to inspire and like show people this really isn't that hard, and just like, but I would rush stuff and then it's like I could do so much better, but then like I would do better when the camera wasn't rolling, and then like next thing you know, I'm starting the next video. I did some work off camera, and it's like a completely different thing. I'm like, I'm not good at this. Like I just need to like set up like security cameras in my garage that are just constantly rolling.
Yeah, just hit play and then just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, dude.
Some of the intricate things while you're looking that up, dude. Some of this paint job is just so cool.
And it's not wiped down or anything. I just ride it hard and put it back wet. Like it's probably needs to be cleaned.
No, this is perfect. This is a rider. What made you want to do this paint scheme? What came up with this theme, I guess you could say?
Subconsciously, first off, I don't really think I have a favorite color, but I kind of think teal is my favorite color because you got teal. Like I don't know, that's just a happy color.
Kind of blends with everything.
Yeah, and just in my mind, you need like a nice contradicting color, the opposite side of the color wheel. And then that's orange, or that's orange and root beer, and just because I love teal because it's not an aggressive color. It's really just relaxed and kind of makes me feel at peace. But then the orange is the same. It's the opposite almost. Like it's kind of like a high energy color, and just kind of like makes you want to get on the bike and go fast, right?
Yeah.
It's just those two contradicting colors. And it really, the orange makes the teal pop, the teal makes the orange pop. And originally, I think this helmet, I just see this one sitting up here all the time. I hardly wear it anymore. But I saw the ribbons, and I was like, damn, dude, that's like such a beautiful color. I think I'm going to do this on my long bike. So if anything, this bike, or not the long bike, but this bike, if anything, this bike was made after this and not that. So,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like the teal's even darker on here than it is on there. Like it's even the orange is darker.
Like an afterthought.
Yeah, like this. I'd say this matches this bike much more. Even though I did shading all the ribbons and stuff, which I kind of wish I did in this.
Nah, I think it looks good. I think it stands out. I think if you wanted the ribbon to stand out more, I think leaving it without the shadows. To me, if you do the shadows, it blends in kind of like a snake trying to be camouflage. But it's freaking rad.
This is gonna bother me, dude.
Take a minute. I'm just gonna look at the bike, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got your little burger. I remember talking about that. You found that, and I was like, dude, you gotta put that on your bike. yeah. It fit perfectly, dude. It fits so perfectly. I was like, of course, this is. It has nothing to do with the bike, which is so funny, but it also makes it stand out. But it's so perfect.
And it's actually so funny because I've gone to a couple shows and stuff just to get out, just an excuse to ride somewhere, really. And kids, the burger it's cool and everything, but the kids kind of scare me because they're about this tall, this eye level, and they're like, it's a toy, and they're like burger, and they'll do it, and this bike doesn't have a start wheel or anything. It's a manually actuated solenoid, so like, it won't fire, but the bike will turn over even when the key's not in it. So like I had one kid like do it, it's like, and the mom was like, hey. I was just laughing. I was like, scared the kid, but
that's awesome, man. Did you name this bike?
No, I'm really bad about that. So I usually let other people kind of name the bikes. Like the purple one that I did have, it's now that bike. Just on the internet and just people, when they finally saw it in person, they called it Purple Nurple, and I was just like, sure, like that's the name of the bike, right? And I mean, because when I was in California, I rode down to Ventura for Chopper Fest. And it's so funny because there's like all these like really pristine, trailered, just beautiful choppers and like amazing craftsmanship. But mine was like road fixes to get down there and just covered in shit. And I was parked next to some of like the prettiest fucking bikes, and like my clutch was having problems, and just but a couple people like walked up to it and they're like, how'd you get that patina, dude? And I was like, I wrote it down here. Yeah. And it's not like this paint job is 2 years old, dude, and it's fucking ruined because it has like there's dings and shit because I keep living in places that have awful roads, like Hawaii and California, St. Louis. Like I've yet to live somewhere that has good roads.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. Where I've been to, Florida, Idaho had the worst roads I've ever been on. And there's this one stretch from Mountain Home to Boise that I'd ride every day. And because they salt the highways in the wintertime, that the truckers that go through, because it's a main interstate, they just destroy the right lane.
Yeah. When trucks are using the same road.
Yeah, it's the worst.
It's funny because somebody's going to watch this video and they're going to, because this is a famous painting from a famous artist, and they're going to be like, you can't figure out the name. And like, because like even just the other day I rode on the Ford Island. It was like a charity event. There's some young man who he's terminal with cancer, and just somebody posted up on the page, was like, he likes cars and stuff. So I took the post, I put in We Ride Hawaii. So a couple bikes showed up. But I remember I was riding onto base, and the gate guard actually said the artist's name. I was like, you're a fan of that guy? Because I love his artwork. And just like, I was like, you're a fan of that guy too? Yeah, he's awesome. And then like, he just kind of let me on the base. And I was like, cool.
Did you check your ID?
I showed it to him. He gave me shit at first because right now I have a beard. And I don't know, a lot of people don't think. The only reason I think people know them in the military most of the time is because I'm clean cut, or you know, I have a haircut and I don't have any facial hair, but like the rest of me is like ragged and stuff. Like, oh, that guy's definitely in the military. But now people don't just assume I'm in the military. They like, I don't just get the discounts at places and stuff, which I don't really care about. But used to, is like, especially like the locals around here, like military discount. I'm like, you sure? How do you know? Like, do I stink?
That's funny, man. And you did. I don't think there's one thing on this bike that you didn't touch, right? Or make.
So basically, the tube, the backbone, neck, and then it does. This is a 2006 rubber mount Harley frame, which a lot of people don't want to chop them because they're ugly. Like this backbone is, I think that's 1.5 inch tubing, which this is the biggest backbone ever, and it's on a Sportster, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I had an issue. Well, you custom made your tank, but I remember trying to order a couple of tanks off TC Bros, and they don't fit. Yeah,
the channels are too narrow, and that's why I just like, I'm welding this to the fucking tank. I'm welding like I'm just gonna make it a part of the frame to kind of hide this backbone and stuff. And now I kind of wish that I like cap the backbone or something like above the carb and put like the fill neck like right here or something. But then I'd have to have like the air would get trapped in here. You have to have some sort of like vent or something. But yeah, just to fill this backbone too, because that's probably half a gallon, you know?
Oh, yeah.
This bike, this is an 883, so it actually gets like 50 mpg. It's actually, like I don't want to hot rod it because like this is a probably 1.5 gallon tank, and I fill up as much as the other guys. Like, I don't ride hard. I don't throttle dump. I don't do stupid shit unless it calls for it, right? I usually ride like an old man.
No wheelies here.
I don't think this thing would do a wheelie even if I tried. It's just the 883s are kind of doggy. Like, they're not.
Yeah, they're cruisers, man.
Yeah, they're
every 883 I've owned is 4th, 5th gear cruising.
Yeah, I mean, I bet if I like put in like a nice clutch pack that was like super grabby and everything, I bet it would lift that front wheel up a little bit.
Yeah, or change the gears maybe. But I mean, it's
geared up so high so I can go 90 miles an hour if I need to. Because 883 is like the stock gearing, like 75. You're
maxing out.
You're max. That's a stock Sportster. Like, because of course I used to have just like a straight up. This was a stock Sportster one time. This is actually my first Harley. I bought it when I was, I think, 19 or 20, and it was just a stock 2006 Sportster, and it was just so doggy. Like, I would try to ride with my dad and my friends, and they're on like old bikes, and they just leave me in the dust. So I geared it up with bigger pulleys, and like the bigger you make the front, the smaller you make the back. Like, that's higher top end speed, but you're losing torque every time you do that because the bike has to work twice as hard to get there.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you could lift the front wheel up and stuff when it was geared stock, but it would top out. And I'm more about
cruising.
Yeah, cruising, getting there. So yeah, you can kind of feel it. Like, if you're leaving a stop sign from second gear or something, you can kind of feel it. It's like the motors. You feel the motor. It's like, oh, like, damn, dude. But then also you put it in first gear, and you go about 15 miles an hour, and it wants to change gear. So it's like,
you're in that in between. You almost need like a overdrive for first gear.
Retro space girl painting. This guy does all kinds of stuff, dude.
Heck yeah, dude. I remember you even doing this seat too. It's like a little bit of foam under it or whatever.
Yeah, the seats.
Light foam.
Yeah, that's
built in.
I actually had that issue on my first bike. Once you make a fully custom bike and stuff, nothing fits anymore. You can't just buy a seat that's going to fit. So now it's like the chain continues. I have to custom make a seat. So actually, I still have my first custom seat.
We'll just add in the name later. I'll edit it in there.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna bother me too because it's like, I'm not one to steal art, but yeah, this is all raw cowhide. It's hard. I didn't think about when I was gonna sell it, but I straight up put my name into the seat.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
at least you'll know if it comes back to you at some point in a swap meet. I
know, unless somebody just wants the pan because it's got little hideaway stuff in it, like zip ties, and it's real crude and but it's comfortable. It works. It's made out of carpet foam. and like a hemorrhoid pad.
Yeah.
So I don't
Bare
get
minimum.
hemorrhoids, yeah.
Yeah, bare minimum, which is
But
awesome.
it's heavy as fuck.
Man,
But in a steel seat pan, which actually I have a bad habit of using just because I work with steel mostly, and that's what I know how to do.
yeah.
But that one actually, like the maiden voyage on that bike, I was going to South Side Chopper Show put on by my buddy at River City Cycles, and it was like, hell yeah, riding a chopper, did a chopper show my first time. I was 21, I think, and my bike I blew out magic smoke out of the battery, and I was like, man, what the hell? Because I'm an electrician, so it was like extra embarrassing. And it's like, man, what the hell? Everything fits. I don't understand what's going on. And you see that piece of insulation that just fell on the ground. My even though my seat pan was painted like with heavy duty primer and stuff, when I sat on the seat, I did not count for the weight of myself on the bike when I built it. I was actually squishing down the seat pan on top of my battery terminals. Oh. And the primer was so thick, it let me just get far enough away from home before it chewed through the paint, and then my battery blew up.
Oh man,
I know.
I've had that issue, and just like the whole bike is off, and you just hear like a hissing sound, and it's like the battery's cracked.
Because I use at that point I use like AGM lead acid batteries now, right? And or just AGM batteries. And it works good, but at that time I thought I was gonna be like a cool guy electrician and use like a tiny little lithium for this, 80-inch 85 Evo. And it worked fine. It started, but like you probably get 1 or 2 starts before it would like shit the bed.
Bogged down.
Yeah, bogged down.
Feel it.
Luckily the engine's good and it usually starts right up, but after that I switched to regular batteries.
Yeah, that's the way. I think with my Sportster, I think I'll get away with the new ones. What are they called?
I have one.
Yeah, the lighter batteries everybody's going for.
The anti-gravity.
Yeah, I got the anti-gravity, and
those are cool, man. They're expensive as hell, but actually I like to use. So accidentally, I shorted this battery. This is the same battery that's in this bike. This one was in this bike, and it needed to go anyways because I had it on my shelf for probably 2-3 years, which I don't know what the shelf life on these is. But what's the cold cranking amps on this? It's enough though, which is crazy. It's like 200 cold cranking amps or something like that.
Or 220, I think.
Yeah, which is like more than enough for a Sportster.
Yeah, because all you need is like 150 or 140.
Yeah, I actually shorted it when I was doing maintenance because this battery is in here, like underneath the seat, like it's tight. So I took a wrench and I was like, huh, and the whole bike wouldn't start. It's funny because it still has 12 volts on it, but I guess it's just shorted internally, or they inputted I think they inputted like a fuse. Because like OG lithium batteries, if they short, they will continue to short until they catch on fire or blow up. So that one did not. It just popped, and then it was like it doesn't work anymore. So I mean, it was kind of a relief to me to know that this bike will do that, and the battery will just kind of destroy itself so it doesn't light my bike on fire. Because directly underneath the battery is my oil tank, and this seat's probably flammable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But this bike still has the stock ECM in it. So I think this is another reason why a lot of people don't like to chop newer bikes. And actually, I discovered it before because like I thought I knew everything about Sportsters, right? This is my first Sportster, but this isn't the first Sportster that I chopped and worked on. Like a lot of my friends have Sportsters and stuff. And before I even took the cam cover off or even got into my points cover, I just went ahead and bought like a Dyna 2000i, electronic ignition, and like the twin spark coil, because that's like just the ultimate universal ignition. You can rip all the wiring out and just put everything in this little coil, and the ignition, it makes everything so much easier. So I bought all that, and I go to install it, and on these 2006s, there's no. If I take this off, it's just cast behind here. There's no, it's a fake points cover. Like, why would Harley do that?
For looks.
I guess. Just make it smooth. That would look cool, too. I mean, but I was like, shit, now what? Because at that point, I'd already made the whole bike to run a Dyna 2000i. I was like, I'm not going to put the brain anywhere. So, and the seat was tiny. There's not much room underneath that seat. So I was like, what can I do? What can I do to make this work? And I like rip out, I go like through the stock wiring for the 2006 Harley Sportsters, and I take like a black marker and I Sharpie out everything that I don't need. And then it just leaves me with like probably like 10 wires. And I'm like, cool. But the real issue here is the tilt sensor, because safety, I guess. The ECM would not run without a tilt sensor. And I was like, how the hell can I bypass this? And I'm assuming the tilt sensor is just this fancy gravity operated switch that if the ball is down in the tilt sensor, it'll allow electricity to go through to the brain and everything like that. So I just, basically I kind of tricked the brain. I left the tilt sensor plugged in. When I started the bike, it fired right up, and I ripped the tilt sensor off and it stayed running. I was like, cool. And I turned it off and I turned it back on, and it started just fine. Like, now I keep the tilt sensor in the keg with the jumper cables in case the battery gets too low and it resets the brain. Like, I don't know.
If it resets, then you'd have to reuse the sensor.
But here's the thing: I shorted the battery and I ripped the battery out. Didn't need the tilt sensor again. Like, I did something to the brain just by ripping the tilt sensor off while it was running. I guess it's permanently safe now.
Yeah, I guess so you don't reset the actual brain.
Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and the brain just velcroed underneath the seat. Like,
yeah,
it's not anything special. And all the wiring that I do have most of it's ran inside the frame, which I've always wanted to try. It's a pain in the ass. Make sure your holes are big enough before you paint the damn bike. Because
even after, because of the thickness of the paint.
Yeah, dude. Well, my main issue was it goes in at the bottom right here. You can even see there's my battery cable and all this stuff. There's a little hole that goes into the backbone. It goes up here and it comes out a hole in here. But the hole in here, I drilled the hole before I put the sheet metal siding on it and made it like all molded and stuff. Now my bits, the hole size that I need, my bits are too wide to fit in this little neck. So I just dremeled and like put extensions on my Dremel, and I was just like in there for minutes. And I got it. I put like some real thick chafing stuff on it, so like hopefully it doesn't chafe through. But yeah, definitely lessons learned, and every bike will be. I don't care how long you've been building bikes. Like,
dude, I learn something every day.
Yeah, dude. Like, the next one you build is gonna be better, and you could do it until the end of time, and they'll just keep getting better. There's no way you're gonna know everything.
There's some things that I just don't have the time to deal with. Is tires. Tires for me are just,
I'm at that point.
Yeah. What will be one thing that like you'd actually pass up to somebody else to do?
Yeah, which when I started doing this, I was a lot poorer. So like I put all my own tires and stuff using spoons and stuff, but you're just, especially with tube tires, you're begging for like pinch tubes, and especially if you're trying to do something crazy like that bike, I put a Ford Model A tire on a Harley rim, so like it didn't quite fit, but it fits, and just that car tire did not want to get on that rim to save my life, and I did it, and I got it on there, and I used a dish soap and stood on it and everything. And I went to fill it up, and I pinched my inner tube.
I forgot those are inner tubes. Old school model.
Like this is an inner tube only. So I was like, God damn it! So I just, my buddy had a motorcycle shop, and I swallowed my ego, and I was like, can you please help me? And he put it on his machine, off, new inner tube in, on, 30 minutes, done.
Yeah.
Here,
take my money.
Yeah. And, he was like, no, it's just cool. You just go home. Yeah, and just, it was easy, but that's actually the back setup I might run on this bike, just because I love that old big tire thing. It might be too big for the bike, honestly. I might have to do some more frame modification to make it fit.
More frame modifications.
Yeah.
What do you think on this bike, the Sportster? What was the hardest thing that you went through to make? Can we wheel it out and stuff? Yeah. Let's move my stuff out of the way.
Hardest thing to make.
I just haven't got the left side of it at all, really.
This thing has really bad chopper lean, so it's gonna be harder.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I don't know if you want to go down to the curb or not. I don't care. Heck, even right there is good.
Chopper lean.
Yeah, chopper lean.
It's funny because like when I park it, everybody walks up to it because these are so inviting for people. They just it doesn't bother me as long as they're not coming up to my throttle and like flooding my carburetor, because it's still a carbureted bike.
Yeah,
like, you can still flood it.
That's rad.
The hardest thing, man. Probably. I mean, just the mental toll of getting it all together, because it's my first molded bike I've ever made, and just the mental toll of, okay, is this going to leak? You know, like, it's pieces of sheet metal welded together. It's bent in a lot of spots. Like, this is bent over and stuff, but like seams are welded and ground down, and just like, I MIG weld everything. I do not have a TIG welder. I will get one eventually. It's just make do with what you got. And just, I don't know, everybody's like, you can't MIG weld a tank. It's gonna leak. And just constant fucking hate from people. And I'm like, it actually might leak. And I'm like, I'm in deep shit, because usually if you have a leaky tank, whatever, you can fill it with tank sealer, like the epoxy tank sealer. It's no big deal, right? The tank and the oil tank are a part of this bike.
You can't really do it.
So I was like, I'm gonna put fuel in it. I'm gonna put fuel in it after I put the epoxy primer on. This is why I like to use 2-part epoxy primer, because epoxy is also gasoline resistant. So any pinholes, I bet it would have leaked if I pressure test everything too. Like, or you put a little PSI in here and look for bubbles. I didn't see any before I epoxied it, but you never know. I've seen gas leak out of pinholes that I didn't see with bubbles or anything. But yeah, I put the epoxy primer on and I put gas in it, and I put oil in there, and I let it sit overnight and no leaks. And I was like, okay, let's roll. Let's do this. And that was pretty difficult. But ultimately, I love chopping Sportsters though, because they are so easy. Like, there was really nothing too headachy, nothing I lost sleep over really, except it might leak and all my works. I'm gonna have to like have a buddy over and use tank sealer. We're gonna have to spin the whole bike for 30 minutes and try not to have a heart attack.
Yeah, put on a rotisserie chicken thing.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, the stressful part was putting the engine back in.
Oh yeah,
because I nicked it in like 4 spots, but hey, black nail polish, man, and it worked. Yeah. I mean, this was kind of like a stress-free build, I think. There was really nothing too stressful about it. It's not like a big twin where you have to worry about engine and trans alignment, and because that's the best thing about Sportsters is the trans is a part of the engine. As long as you use like the stock rear motor mounts, or a hardtail kit that you got has the rear motor mounts on it, it's going to be impossible to make it drive crooked or anything unless you mess up the neck that bad.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, I use a frame jig and stuff. But honestly, I think the biggest hang up I had was the electrical issue that I had. It was just, okay, now, because that one caught me by surprise. I was like, okay, I have to use the stock Harley stuff. Because the first thing I usually do with a chopper is like rip everything out. There's too many more wires. There's like blinkers and safety and emissions. Like, you rip that off.
Kickstands.
Yeah, kickstand sensors. Like, what the fuck is this, dude? Rip it off. But usually a wire harness is like 3 wires. I had to make a new wiring harness to fit stock Harley brain and crank sensor and Vose, which I don't even think that's truly Vose. I think that's the vacuum operated switch in the carb. Like, I had to run this too.
I cut mine off, yeah.
Yeah, like,
but I mean, that'll save you 5 miles a gallon, I think.
I mean, I couldn't. The brain wouldn't work without that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just, I looked it up, did research. It's like, do not remove that. That is not Vose. That is for something else. Apparently, this is reading how much vacuum you're having based off of your crank sensor position. Like, I don't know truly, but that's kind of what I gathered. Is like the crank sensor positioner and this work together to make the bike get its next suck, bang, and blow. It's just, if you get rid of it, the bike will never run right. It will run, but it will never run right.
That's right. The 04 and up.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of more. That's why people don't chop them as much, because the electrical, and then the frames are rubber mounted, stuff like that. Because I got the 03, which is like the perfect year.
Yeah, 03 is a good year. And I'm good at accidentally finding like rare motorcycles that nobody wants. And like this, the rubber mounted CV carb, and the CV carbs are rubber mounted too. So like, I'm gonna put a rubber mounted CV carb. Like, yeah, it's got a carb mount on it now, and it had a stock Harlan, but it's kind of shit. But it vibrates the damn carburetor off, because I remember this motor, before I put the solid mount hockey pucks on it, you'd be at a stop sign and the whole fucking thing would just, it was boring to ride almost, because it doesn't it doesn't tickle my butt when I ride it. I don't.
So you took out the rubber mounts and did hard mounts, right?
Yeah. So my rubber mounts are gone too, because this bike has a lot of miles on it. This engine does. Like, this thing's over 100,000 miles, and it's been rebuilt multiple times because I put most of the miles on it, because I used to ride this thing like state to state, and I kept up with big boy bikes, and it did amazing. It's only left me on the side of the road probably twice, and that was just because I didn't know how to fix it, because I was so green at this.
Yeah, I see those pucks now.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're just these big aluminum pucks. And I mean, it's solid mounted. I was a little concerned about the actual mounts that hold it, because they are designed for rubber. That rubber is going to dampen the vibration.
Is it going to shake anything, do anything?
Is it going to crack the frame? Is the frame's not designed to be a solid mount? But I mean, then you look at the backbone. Like, this is bigger than any solid mount backbone. And I even put a center mount on, because originally this didn't have a center mount either, which I cut that out of steel and put it on there. So I even have a lot of guys like, you need to put a top motor mount on it. And I'm like, nah, there's no vibration really. It's an 883. It's not like some crazy hot rod motor.
So on the 88, because my 883 or my 1200 on the 03, it mounts from up here hard, and then the back two. Mm-hmm. Yours didn't have the front?
No,
because it
didn't have the top.
It didn't have the top.
It didn't have a top at all. It had a front one, and it was like this little rubber control arm that was like, it would, if you put it in a vise and you put a tube on, I bet it would bend. But it had bend back, but it was a super heavy duty.
Goes from here to the other side, right?
It's almost like a Z, and it allows it side to side motion, but it dampens it. So, but it didn't have anything up here, nothing back here, and it was just two rubber mounts. My rubber mounts were gone. Like, the front ones were okay, but I remember when I was pulling this out of the frame, my rear one just fell apart. Like, I pulled them out in chunks. I was like, cool. Like, I'm happy that didn't like kill me or anything. But you never know. The bike ran fine, and it felt fine too. Yeah. I will say these 883s have a real problem with head gasket leaks. It doesn't matter. I mean, that could be the 1200s too. You can even see where it's better now, because I rebuilt the top end. Yeah, it's not wet, but you can see where it's stained from oil being cooked on there. Yeah. And it's definitely on the back. Actually, I think I might have another
little leak.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just stained as well.
I mean, that's like riding a Harley, though. You can't ride a Harley without a little bit of oil.
Yeah, I got a little leak. I bet it only happens when it's cold, though. I bet everything tightens up. And here's the thing, man, is I don't think Harley really knows what the torque spec should be on the heads either, because it's so funny. You read the manual, and it's like, yeah, torque your heads down to this foot-pounds. All right, cool, you did that. Do it in this pattern. Cool, you did that. Cool, so make a mark now, and then tighten it another 45 degrees.
Not just a certain torque.
Yeah, so basically it's not their fault if you strip the bolt. Oh, you probably went 46 degrees, and that's probably why the head bolt snapped. You went too far.
That's
you probably didn't make a mark right. Like what was the point of the torque specs? Just say make it tight as fuck.
Yeah.
There's probably a good reason. I just don't understand. But
yeah. Dude, you got so many little, like, I can't stop looking at it. Like,
those are lamp parts from the hardware store. These are like lamp washers.
That's what it was. I was like, I've seen those before, especially in Hawaii. They got like the fancy
it's
little things.
Actually, I think I picked those up in St. Louis, and I just had them in my washer box forever. And I was like, because this kept vibrating, it kept breaking. Oh, my bolts kept snapping. I was scared my headlight mount was going to vibrate and break. But so this bolt broke off, and my headlight's swinging around. I'm like, shit. So I get the old bolt out, put a new one in, and then this one breaks. And I'm like, okay.
So you did the leather rubber?
Yes. Yeah, so it's the leather washers, and I haven't had a problem since. Leather washers dampen. They don't split. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I like them for the tanks too. They give them for the TC Bro tanks and stuff.
Yeah, they're great for TC Bro. And like leather, man, it gets you chew through it. Like I had my purple bike. It was the whole gas tank was rubber mounted, and it worked great until you'd hit a big bump, and next thing you know, your whole tank's vibrating because the rubber just split and fell off. And it's like, what can you do? I was gonna make some leather ones, but the bike's not even that bike anymore. So.
Oh yeah, that's pieces. I see it behind us.
And I mean, dude, this thing is so far. I mean, I've been riding it for almost a year now, and it's
held up.
Yeah, in Hawaii of all places, like some of the worst roads. And because I was really nervous when I first started riding it, because I notched the rear of my hardtail to fit my exhaust. And yet again, people online and stuff, like I'll just
this one, right?
Yeah,
I remember you doing that.
I'll post a picture and people are like, that's gonna break, that's gonna kill you, and I'm like, are you sure? Like but then there's a guy that I wouldn't say I know him or we're friends or anything, but it's just bikes, so we can talk to each other easily. I think he's in Missouri. He's got a bike. It's another purple bike actually, and he's just running one side of a hardtail.
Really?
Yeah, because he's got a street bike wheel on it, so it's a floating wheel on this side. He's just got one side of the hardtail, and I'm like, if he can fucking do it, I can notch one of my legs, right?
Yeah, and but I remember when you were doing this, you filled it in with solid steel anyway.
Yeah, I put it probably 1/8 inch steel, so it's thick shit. And I just kind of shaved it to fit, so it's probably thin in some spots. But it was either that or take the exhaust around the frame, which is a little goofy, or notch the exhaust, which now is probably gonna mess with, my backflow and just exhaust getting out of the bike, which I just didn't. That's gonna cause engine problems now, and I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Just let it out. And these are straight pipes, but I think they're long enough. First off, it's an A3. It's not loud. But I think it's long enough. You still feel the bike push back when you give it throttle, versus like a lot of these guys, when they start getting the bikes, the first thing they do is like ground pounder dumps that you can get on Amazon, and they're cheap, but they make your bike run hot.
Oh yeah, and you're hot too. I've had them, and then you got to change the carburetor and all.
Yeah, you got to jet up your car because it's a flow, man. Your bike needs to suck in as much air as it's letting out. If you're letting out more air than you're sucking in, you can kiss your exhaust valves goodbye. They're going to heat up, and next thing you know, you're going to have no compression, and your bike's going to run like shit.
Yeah, that's rad, dude. And you made these bars too, didn't you?
Yeah, so I started with, and I mean they're rough, but I kind of wanted to leave the weld so I can keep an eye on them.
Oh yeah,
that's my excuse for poor craftsmanship.
Did you slug them?
Yeah, they're slug.
Okay.
Not solid slug though. It's
just pipe on pipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pipe on pipe, and it's rosette welded. So these were TC Bro bars originally, but they were this tall. It was like mini apes.
Yeah.
But this was wider. I wanted the angles though. The angles were like, I was like, these are perfect. So I cut the middle out, made it narrow to make up for the amount of length I was about to add to it. But it's perfect because now it's the same width as the front end. Because originally they were like this wide, and it looks stupid. So I cut that, just put 1-inch tubing on it, and kept the bends. And I was like, I even cut some off the edge. Like they're big,
long. Yeah.
I think they were supposed to go like on a big wide soft tail or something.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I wanted to keep the slugs not solid because I'm running an internal throttle.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people have problems with, but knock on wood, this one's been fine. I just greased it up real good before I put it in there, and it's
works good.
I kind of like it because, especially the roads around here and riding a hardtail, you'll find yourself on your throttle like, and it's just. But I just grab this, like I can go back, grab that. Now I got cruise control.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It works for me, man. It's just that you wouldn't be able to get that with a regular throttle because the actual throttle only goes about here.
That's right, because half the grip is over the thing.
Yeah, half the grip's over the actual handlebar. I did have to buy 2 sets of grips because it is 1 inch.
And 1 inch, yeah.
Yeah, 1 inch and 1 inch. And which, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Just throw them out there. I got like everybody gets these Vans grips, but they're great. And it's the only orange grips that kind of match the bike. They're all kind of faded.
It's funny because I have them in black. I've just never seen them in orange. That's super rad.
Yeah, and I think the orange ones are actually cheaper because nobody wants orange grips. I was like,
save you $2.
Yeah, it was like $1 or $2 cheaper. Whatever.
Is this a stock front end?
Yeah, it's the down tubes are not stock. Everything else is stock. So when I bought the bike, I bought it from this guy. I wouldn't say he was a tweaker, but he was an interesting individual, really nice, but he did a lot of his own customization work, and by that I mean rattle canned a lot of shit black.
Yeah.
So these were all spray painted black, but that's the thing, is they were pitted and knocked up from rocks and everything, and they still had the fender mounts on them and everything, and I was like, man, those look like shit. So I just cut the fender mounts off, and I hand sand them. A lot of guys lathe their lower trees. I mean, not their lower trees. A lot of guys lathe these parts just to make them perfect, but I just cut it off with a grinder and sanded it until it looked flat to me, and I polished it, and I was like, cool, that saves me a bunch of money on lathe work.
Just a couple hours of elbow grease.
I've always
really good, dude.
I had like this dirt bike envisionment. I'm running dirt bike tires on a hardtail, and I have like the boot covers, and it's funny because it's so stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you running dirt bike parts on a hardtail chopper?
Yeah, but it's practical in Hawaii with all the potholes and everything.
Yeah, almost.
Like, literally in the puddles. Like, I mean, you're not wrong.
No front fender, but I have plenty of travel in these. They have like the progression dirt bike front end shock upgrades for sportsters, because guys are starting to turn their sportsters into dirt bikes, which is so awesome. I think it's rad. So it's like specific hardtail kits, I think, for them too. Yeah, but these are I think 6-over down tubes from TC Bros. That's because originally I think the guy had lower down tubes on it. They weren't stock; they were lowered. So like the actual seal was like up here. So I made the whole bike, everything like stock rake and trail, really. But once you put a hardtail on, it lowers the back end.
It makes the front end look so much bigger. Yeah, and dude, the bike looks stupid. This wheel was up here, and I was like, okay, I need some empty space right here. Yeah, and I was gonna get 8-overs, but then you like look at 8-overs, and you're like, the bike's reared up too much. I was like, I think I'm gonna be casual for once on this bike. Just chill. Yeah, and it's funny, like you take the handlebars off, and it looks not too high, just like kind of raked up, but. Yeah, with the handlebars and that you said 4-over. Yeah, it looks, and the rake of the stance of it with the kickstand. Yeah, and just also too, people get like, you can't reach those handlebars, all this stuff, because I think what they're used to seeing on a lot of Sportsters is guys hardtail and they put apes on it, whatever. So they're used to seeing this height on the neck and the height of the handlebars, and this is stupid. This is far up. But also, too, when you hardtail Sportster, it puts you super low in the seat, like super low. But a lot of people fail to realize that my seat's lifted up probably 6 inches. So, like... That's right. Yeah, it's like... It's pretty casual. Like, I'm not like this. I can lean back, and it's not bad at all. Like, this on the highway, like, that's comfy. Cruising. Yeah, dude. Like, it's not bad at all. It's just throw your little cruise control on. Yeah, and like all you need is a cup holder in. Yeah, I do have to lean forward to do parking lot stuff, but you should do that anyways. Just be on your toes in case somebody pulls out in front of you. With that rake and those handlebars, do you ever come across like a death wobble or anything? No, at like certain speeds. I would say this is stock rake. It's nothing crazy. Yeah, it's just cruising. I'd say death wobble is going to come mostly from your rake and trail is too inward, because now your front wheel is going to act like a shopping cart wheel. If anything, putting a little bit longer front end made my bike handle better. Yeah, that's how I feel riding it. Yeah. Now, of course, that you can be like this bike and make it not good. I've never actually ridden this bike because the engine's still in Missouri, and it's kind of hard for me to push myself to work on stuff when I don't even have an engine for it. Yeah, that's right. But I mean, this one's not bad either, though. We'll see. I have some buddies who have long front ends, and they're like, that the rake and trail is incorrect. It's correct. It's just exaggerated. Very exaggerated. I remember, I'll post your YouTube channel on there, too, and they can see the videos of you making it. But this thing is freaking rad. And this is a stock Sportster frame, right, that you just took? The only stock part of this frame, the bottom is the black. Yeah. Which, in hindsight, why did I do that? If I'm going to make the whole custom frame, why didn't I just take this down tube all the way back here and make these little mount? Like, I don't know. It's just, I started building this one when I was 21, and I think I bit off more than I can chew a little bit, but I'm going to finish it when I have the engine. Yeah. Because there's really nothing to it, especially it's a 95 Sportster, but I got the engine, basically this guy just kind of gave it to me. Somebody left it at his shop, I got arrested, and he was like way late on payments for storing it at the shop, and the guy just straight up just like disappeared. Disappeared. He was like, yeah, I'm not paying those, and just straight up disappeared. So my buddy gave it to me for very cheap, and was just he's like, fuck, now I have another Sportster project. Like, now what do I do? But with that, the engine was split cases, jugs that were different sizes, like stuff like that. So I gathered parts, and I could do top end work in my garage. All I have is hand tools and whatnot, but like balancing cranks and all that stuff, I'm no mechanic. Yeah, that's like takes specific machinery and stuff. That's the same. That's one thing. Like Me, I'll do anything but probably engines. Yeah, I don't have the machinery or the knowledge, or I just hate changing tires, really. I can do them, I've done them, but I spend a whole day doing one tire, and it's just not worth the time.
Yeah, exactly. Time's more valuable than the money.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, so I have a guy back in Missouri. He's like he's an older guy, but with that is just, he's a wizard. And I was like, hey man, he actually helped me tune up that 85 Evo. And already he was kind of like, oh, an Evo, like, not really a big fan. Like, I'll help you, you know, because like, him and I have a good relationship. He's a cool guy. I think he just likes that I'm a kid getting into this stuff. But I was like, hey man, how about a Sportster engine? And he was like, absolutely not. He's like, is it an iron head at least? I was like, no. He's like, absolutely not. He's like, I got like 2 flat heads and knucklehead and a pan head to work on. Like, I don't want to work on your Sportster. And then I showed him some of my custom parts I made for the engine. He's like, okay. And I showed the bike that's going on. He's like, okay.
Yeah,
but
worth it.
Yeah, with him though, there's like a trifecta of when you're getting service from somebody. There's, you know, good, fast, and cheap.
Yep.
And it's like pick 2. He's good and cheap.
Yeah.
So fast is not. I'm not holding it against him and stuff. He's a busy man, but I gave him that engine a couple of years ago, and just I know it's gonna be good when I get it. Also, too, I don't really care that much because I don't feel like freighting an engine to Hawaii. I'll get it when I move back.
It's a heck of a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I'll just pick it up when I get back, and I'm not worried about it.
That's rad. And so you added on this bike, you added quite a bit of extra stuff to the engine, like the oil coolers, right?
Yep.
Is there a reason, or just for more oil?
So ultimately, more oil is better. So this is kind of a trade-off when it comes to oil, because yeah, more oil is better. The oil cooler, who God knows how much it really works, but it's in front of the bike, and this is Hawaii. It does get hot, and there is traffic. Now, the trade-off I'm talking about is the more oil lines, the harder your mechanical oil pump's going to have to work to push that oil the further distance, which is going to cause parasitic drag on the engine. And especially a small engine like this, like, yeah, you can kind of feel it. But it keeps your bike cool and stuff, because what this engine did have problems with, when I had it like as a stock Sportster, I did not have an oil cooler on it, and I would keep up with the big boys all day. I'm like almost redlining this engine just to keep up everywhere because it's a stock 883, and I would notice it continued to run when I'd get off the freeway, but it wouldn't idle. It was trying to die. And I asked one of my old guys, I was like, why is it doing this when the bike's hot? And he's like, your bike's very hot if it's doing that. That's because the piston and the cylinder walls are so expanded from heat that it's actually choking the piston. It's grabbing it.
Oh,
he's like, that's bad. He's like, that will kill a motorcycle. And so he's like, try to not get your bike that hot. And I will say I've kept up with the big boys on this island. I haven't had that. It always wants to idle when I get off the freeway. It stays cool. And I am running an absolute shit ton of oil in that oil tank though too. So it's got time to cool off.
Yeah,
and that's a big oil. I probably have more oil in that bike than I have gasoline.
Yeah, I'm gonna have an issue with that on my bike. I mean, you see my oil tank,
like,
even with the oil lines.
This whole prism is filled with oil. It is. I got enough.
How many quarts do you think you got in there?
3 or 4.
Yeah, and stock is what, like 2.5?
Yeah, not much. I have a lot, and I mean, probably don't need that much, but it leaks every now and then. Like I have a little leak right here. This is the most I've looked at my bike without riding it, or that could just be road grit. Who knows?
Yeah, but if you're leaking oil, at least you have oil.
You'll know, right?
Yeah,
you got time before you run out. Yeah. And actually, I'm gonna have the same kind of problem that you're gonna have with your Sportster. Is I'm gonna make the oil tank super small on that bike. I'm just gonna make it a part of the fender. Like
what?
I'm gonna get basically I'm gonna get 2 fenders, and I'm gonna sandwich it. Like here, I'll draw you a picture.
Oh, like you're gonna sandwich. I see what you're saying. The whole oil is gonna be over the tire, but
yeah. So like, oh, my ping pong balls. So you're gonna have your wheel, and then you're gonna have your fender over the wheel, but then I'm gonna have another fender that's gonna be built at like a tighter radius, and hopefully I can make it skinny enough it looks just like a fender, and hopefully it'll go over the wheel enough that it just looks like a deep fender. But I'm gonna put my oil in here. I'm gonna put it in the fender, so I'm gonna put the to the engine and hopefully vent and return everything back in here, and I'll just put hoses inside the fender so it will puke up at the top. But with that, it's like there's gonna look like there's gonna be no oil lines on the bike.
That'd be rad.
Which I'm already
just engine.
Yeah, just engine. There's gonna be like a big space where your oil tank should be. People are like, where's your oil tank? Like, it's probably not gonna hold. Yeah, I kind of have it. I gave myself some room though. I made it a little stick out a little bit further than it needs to, but I'll still have this huge gap of where an oil tank should be.
It's just going to be open space. You're just going to have engine.
Yeah, which is going to like
transmission.
What a godsend too. If you work on your own bikes and stuff, like I've rebuilt that transmission before, and just getting it out is worse than working on the transmission.
Yep.
And people who just leave the transmission in their bike to work on it, I don't know what's wrong with you. take it out.
Yeah.
But that's like boom. I can just take off my belt and lift up the whole transmission, get it out. I don't have to take the oil tank off or nothing. And yeah, the oil lines I'm already set up. Like here's my feed and stuff. I'm just gonna run probably this oil line. I'm just gonna run down. I'm gonna run the 3 oil lines underneath here, underneath the trans plate, boom, to the fender. It's just gonna be
engine, trans.
And that's that trade-off I'm talking about. So it's gonna have a lot less length to push that oil. And even with this too, now I don't have to push it to an oil filter. It's a part of the oil pump. So like there's probably not gonna be much oil in this thing. That's why I kind of gave myself some room, just in case. We'll see how much the bike likes it. I don't know. Well, if it sucks, it sucks. I'll rebuild it, but
build it into a sissy bar too, and then you got fender and sissy bar oil.
Yeah, I've seen people do that too. I've seen some oil in crazy places. I've seen oils in this post. I've seen oil in the backbone. That's not a bad idea either. I could do that.
You get
run oil lines right here and just come out. Boop.
Yeah.
I have a whole tube of oil.
Yeah, you can get like a half a quart maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on how thick of it is.
Enough, yeah.
Maybe less, but that's rad, dude.
And the reason I am like so adamant about cramming this Evo and 5-speed into this hardtail like shovelhead frame is just, dude, these cast parts, like that's the problem with a lot of modern custom choppers is like it's lacking that mechanical aspect, that industrial feeling from like a vintage motorcycle. Mm-hmm. Like it's just like stock, like that one's got stock, like just flat steel axle plates. So does that one. It's kind of boring. Like I want something that was, made. It's cast. It's
era correct, kind of.
Yeah, era correct. It's not gonna be era correct for this because that's a 1985.
Yeah, but the style that you're going for, the chopper that you're doing, it's like that period of like 50s, 60s, 70s kind of. Yeah,
it's just you gotta keep in touch with like the industrial part of it because it's a machine. You don't want to make it too fluid, or it's gonna be like that engine doesn't belong in that organic looking frame, and now you have Orange County choppers, and
yeah, some crazy
West Coast
stuff
choppers
that last like 500 miles and then break.
Yeah, some dentist is gonna buy it off me and for $30,000, and then where the fuck did I set mine?
That's rad. Out of all the bikes that you've built in the time that you've been doing bikes, what would you recommend to somebody that's just starting out?
Solid mount Sportster.
Start with that.
Start with like a 90s. I mean, hell, even like the early. Any Evo Sportster, that's a solid mount. So what is that, up to 03? Or is yours a rubber mount?
Mine's 03 Harley Sportster, and then 04 goes to rubber mounts.
That's right, because that's 04. So they only did a carbureted rubber mount Sportster for 2 years because I think people kept bringing their shit in. It's like my carb keeps falling off.
Yeah, and then they went from carb, I think from like 06 or 07 to fuel injected.
Which that's got to be a nightmare to chop.
Yeah, but it's nice to ride because you can see anything.
Solid mount Harley Sportster, which I mean, those choppers are everywhere. I call them Mick choppers because like you could buy the hardtail. Like you can get everything you need from TC Bros or Lowbrow to make a pretty cool bike, but it's going to look like everybody else's. But that's where the paint comes in, and that's where
personal touches.
Yeah, personal touches come in and stuff. And like, yeah, it's cool, but everything looks the same.
Personal touches.
Yeah, personal touches.
What would you recommend for tools? I know you probably use the basic tools.
Yeah, you're looking at them. I use hand tools. I don't have any big machinery. I think the biggest things of machinery I have is a drill press, bench grinder, and a hacksaw. Like everything else is, I have a Go Kit tool, like toolbox. Like This is a go kit that I sawed in half to leave in here. And, and just, I have the wrenches and same thing. I build everything. I don't use impacts really. I have one. As you can see, it gathers dust. You don't need it. Not for motorcycles. Like, of course, you need like some big shit to like get stuff off. But
some of the sportsers for like specific parts, I had to order for like sprockets, but that's about it.
Lots of metalworking stuff. Torque wrenches. That is probably one of the more expensive things that I highly suggest. Torque specs, unless we're talking about head bolts, exist for a reason. Junk drawer, but tap and die, especially
much needed.
Especially if you're getting new, because you are going to break stuff. Electrical. I don't even know what's going on in this drawer, man. I see this is so far down. I didn't even go down here. Here's metalworking stuff. I have hand saws. You know, I have a grinder and this little guy because I do so much metal work. A hacksaw or jigsaw. I cut frames in half, pretty much. But that's really
basic tools.
All you need. Like, I paint everything with a Harbor Freight spray gun and a Amazon airbrush. I've been using that for years. And you know what I'm gonna do if it breaks? I'm gonna go buy another $100 airbrush. Like, I'm not gonna drop $3,000 on some professional grade airbrush because it's got its problems, but it doesn't matter too much.
It's super rad.
I'm actually super disorganized, dude. Like, I'm
it's pretty organized, man.
Well, I just cleaned it yesterday. Give me 2 days.
Yeah, I did tell you ahead of time a little bit. That's funny.
But also too, especially with paint, practice on something before you paint your bike, and that's if you're using like expensive paint or.
Oh, got 19% battery. Sorry, battery issues. All right, back on to what we were talking about.
Yeah, this is my first chopper. Which, I mean, I did it completely the wrong way. I think my old guys thought it was funny the way I was doing it. I'd say if you're definitely getting into motorcycles and you want to build a chopper, definitely buy one that's titled, registered, get a donor bike that has all the pieces you need. Don't do what I did, where I literally found trash and made it work. Like, this is a 95 transmission, a 1985 engine that was a basket case when I got it, and like a bill of sale that was handwritten on like a napkin. Like, a buddy of mine sold it to me. He's a really nice guy and stuff, and he gave it to me for cheap. So I was like, and I wanted an Evo. Like, a lot of people don't want Evos, so they're still really cheap. Everybody wants a shovel head or older, and that stuff's cool, but it's like you can find if you want like a matching numbers like classic motorcycle, it's going to be like $15,000. And now, man, like I want something that's going to run and do what I want to do. Cause like I said, I ride my bikes. I don't really care if people think that it's not cool anymore cause it's an Evo. But this, to say the least, this was a pain in the ass to put together. Now I got the whole bike together. I'll send you a picture and you can like flash it if you want of what this bike used to look like. But it was just like an Ultima Softail frame that weighed way too much. It had shocks on it, and there's nothing soft about a Softail. Like, for how big the bump is that you hit, you're gonna get bucked twice as hard back when those extension springs contract. Like, I would hit a bump that didn't seem that bad, and I would get bounced off the seat because it's a Softail, man. They suck. And like, literally, I ride a hardtail everywhere now, and it's softer than my Softail. It doesn't bite back. It just kind of kicks you a little bit and just
move on with your business.
Yeah. Let the little bit of air out of the back tire and you're fine. Which I'm actually thinking about running a Coker rear wheel on this bike. I gotta move this forward and stuff, but I just want a big fat back tire, skinny and fat, just so I can run like 9 PSI in it and call it a day. But ultimately what I did with this bike and what I'm doing now is I got rid of that super heavy frame, and a friend of mine sold me a shovel head frame with a title and a hardtail kit. And I was like, absolutely, I'll fit it. And just getting it legalized is going to be easier now because it's a vintage title. And it was, unless the cop that's looking at it is a motorcycle guy, it should be no questions. It's a shovel head. But there's a lot of things that I overdid on my first bike trying to be fancy that I'm just trying to reverse with this bike. Like, being an electrician, I thought I was being smart, and I had toggle switches for my rear light, my forward light, and that was just to isolate grounds in my mind in case my bike didn't want to run, which came in useful sometimes. But you don't really need that. A lot of guys just leave their lights on all times. But now you're gonna have to like rip the wiring out of your bike if you have a light ground or something. But this bike, it had a starter, a battery. It was a full running, working motorcycle, and just you don't need all that. I want to simplify this bike even more. Like take the true aspects why people like the old bikes, but put it on a modern engine that's reliable as well. And I think you have a perfectly round circle with that. Like I'm gonna put a kicker kit on it and put a magneto on it, so it's gonna be kick only, no battery. We'll see how my knees feel about kicking over a high compression engine because shovel heads and older, unless you make them super high compression, they're not high compression. This even has high compression heads in it. I'm not racing or anything, but it does have some nice tight valve springs in it and stuff. And it has an EV3 cam, so it's got some low end torque and whatnot. It's really fun at stoplights, but all that fun was drained away in that super heavy soft tail frame. Because I think that soft tail frame, it was like a 2016 model frame from Ultima and stuff. And what it really wanted in it was like a modern 103 or bigger cubic inch motor. I'm trying to put a slightly modified 80-inch 1985 engine in it. And it's using all of its horsepower just to get that thing moving at regular speeds. And I was like, this thing needs to be in like a super old bicycle frame.
Just light and nimble and fast.
Yeah, I just want to make it lighter, smaller, tighter. I want it to look like that other bike. I hate the fat tire thing. And that's just what was cheap at the time. So I jumped on it. But just what a nightmare. Just a short, squatty tire. Because, a lot of people don't think about it, but the height of your wheel is a part of your gear ratio. Like if you're running a tiny little back wheel that's super wide, people are, I have a wide tire for more grip, like a drag racer. It doesn't matter. Your contact patch is the same size on the tire. It's just you're paying for more tire. It's also more wheel to spin. Like you don't need that. It's
heavier, way heavier too. All that rubber.
Yeah, everything's heavier, and it's just you don't need that. It's silly. I want it like super skinny. Leave it open primary, and just I want to be able to fix on the side of the road, which I already was able to if I ever needed to, but nothing engine wise because the Evo doesn't care. It'll keep going. Not like my friends who are like pulling off rocker boxes on their shovel heads on the side of the road or whatever, or they just straight up detonated because they balanced the flywheel on a bicycle wheel balancer in the garage or something.
But that's funny, man.
Yeah, no, I don't really have a lot to say about this. This bike isn't much right now, but it will be.
Well, they all started that way. I mean, look at that one and that one.
Yeah, it starts from junk, really. And here's the thing that a lot of people, like, at one point, I hear this from my old guys and my dad. He's like, at one point, people were just, when the shovel head came out, people were like taking their panhead engines and like throwing them in the dumpster. And at some point, I think Evos are already getting valuable because Harley stopped making the Evo Sportster and they don't make big twin Evos anymore. It's all Milwaukee 8s and twin cams now, I think. And I think people are starting to. Not that I'm worried about this being valuable at all. If I wanted a hobby that was going to have a return, I wouldn't have gotten into motorcycles.
It's like meth is cheaper, but motorcycles more expensive, but they're probably more fun.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I don't know. It's like if you like try to get down to motorcycling at the core, like mostly like build like the builder scene and everything. You can go too far left field with it, where people are just coming. They're doing anything to be original. And like the bikes are just mechanical. They're mechanically amazing and super beautiful and everything, but they're just nightmares and they're not really rideable and stuff. I'm trying to combat that by taking like old school ideas and methods and making it still a rideable bike. Like I'm trying to figure out what to do with the clutch cable and stuff on this because it's a right side clutch cable. I'm gonna dodge it around that mechanical linkage because I want a mechanical drum brake. The only fluids I want in this is my transmission fluid and engine oil. That's all I want. No hydraulic or fork oil or anything. I'm gonna run a Springer. But with that, I was like, how am I gonna route this clutch cable up to my handlebars? I'm just thinking of my buddies like, put a foot clutch on it and a jockey shift. That's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, but it fucking sucks.
Especially with the rear brake. You don't have a front. Are you running a front brake?
No front brake.
Yeah, no front brake and only rear brake with the clutch.
No.
Yeah.
You can say all day, like, oh, you're just not an experienced motorcycle rider. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like I've ridden a foot clutch before, and it was a mechanical foot clutch too. It was on a 4-speed, and like that one kind of wants a foot clutch because it has like the big. It's almost perfect setup for a foot clutch, but this is a cable drawn foot clutch. So like screw that. Like, that's not even gonna be cool. I'm gonna need like a spring to return it and stuff. It's gonna just be a nightmare. And plus with that, it's not gonna be enjoyable to ride anymore. And it looks great. Like, it looks cool. I have buddies that use suicide clutch and foot clutch and a hand shifter, and just like, it looks cool on the freeway. And yeah, you kind of look like a badass doing it. Just wait until you hit traffic though.
Traffic and then a hill. I'm thinking like a hill.
A hill, yeah.
You have to go on the back brake and the clutch, and both of them are your feet.
Yeah,
you put a foot down.
Screw that. And like, yeah, like some of my buddies, they just don't stop. They just blow through signs. I'm like, you're just asking for, because like, yeah, you can do that all day comfortably, but like, what are people around you gonna do?
Yeah,
they're not gonna stop either. And you're gonna lose a battle with a cage anytime, any day.
100%.
You'll always lose. So yeah, I try to make them safe and rideable and whatnot, which I guess some people don't like, but I'm not really ego driven in this. I'm just trying to make something that I enjoy riding.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And I will say, when it was in the purple bike, in this frame and stuff, it was like I had a front brake, a rear brake, a hand clutch, and it was a custom painted aftermarket frame. It looked cool and everything, but like, yeah, bike shows and stuff, people just kind of like blow past it. Like, that's not a knucklehead. Which those aren't the people. Those are like the ego-driven people. They're not doing this for the same reasons as myself.
Well, that's all money too. I'm freaking knucklehead right now is more than my truck.
Yeah, as soon as the bikes get over a certain price, they're like, this isn't even like it's like, who's got more money? Who can buy the cooler parts, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, that's not me, man. I make most stuff by hand, unless it comes to mechanical. I'm not a machinist. Like, I buy aftermarket parts. Like, this is an aftermarket part. I have a kickstart kit coming that I didn't fabricate, but it's going on the bike. But they made it better than I could ever make it. So
yeah, that's some things they just don't mess with.
Yeah,
especially on that's what I do like about the Sportsters. They're very reliable engines.
Oh my god, and that's the thing, is just I get a lot of hate on that bike, actually, from like the chopper community. They're like, too bad it's a Sportster. Or, I made that frame and I was posting online, which I didn't really like to be online, but people pushed me to like make TikToks and Instagram videos and stuff. Like, you should put this up there, because people would like it. And a lot of people do like it, and I like to inspire and stuff. But some people were like, "Oh man, that's a beautiful frame," and stuff. They didn't know what engine was going in, because I was making videos of the frame when I was painting stuff. I put a Sportster engine, and some people were like, "That's a shame you did all that work just to put a Sportster in." And it's like, why? It's going to get out. I'm not going to be working on it all the time. Ultimately, more people are going to see it.
Yeah,
because I'm going to ride it everywhere, and I'm going to be able to ride it everywhere. It's not.
Yeah, they build these $50,000 bikes and go 10 miles.
I know.
It drives me nuts, man.
It's. I don't understand it. I think it's just a lot of its ego. And another thing that drives me nuts in the motorcycle community is the secrets. The secrets to like whatever it is, paint or fixing a problem or getting something to work. And it's like, oh, you just figure it out. Just figure it out. Like, I'm not telling you. Like, why?
Why not?
Was it that bad of a time for you? You don't just want to tell me to make my life easier? Because I tell people everything.
Yeah, you want to keep it going.
Yeah, like I want to, because and that's the thing too, is the older guys are like, why is there no kids getting into this? It's like, well, first off, the once affordable bikes are not affordable anymore, and you guys are dicks about it. I don't want to be a part of that community, man. It's kind of like surfing and stuff. Like, a lot of people like try to get into surfing, but then they like meet some this isn't all surfers, but they meet some surfers and they're like, you stole my wave, and they like try to drown you, and it's like, yeah, this community fucking sucks. I don't care. I don't want to make friends in this community because they're kind of dicks.
Yeah,
but people can be like emotional and stuff about it, but
208.
Oh, that accidentally happened. Hold on. All right, back in action.
All right. And the thing that really, of all things that really started this overhaul, not only was the paperwork, because a homemade motorcycle with just an MSO and stuff, like, you take it, like, I try to do everything right to pay taxes to the government on something I built in my garage. They make it impossible, especially if the engine and the transmission aren't the same year. And I had to prove, I got like 90% through the process, and I even had pictures of me making parts because I made a lot of my tens and fender and a lot of the frame parts and stuff. And they're like, "Where'd you buy this?" And need receipts. And I showed them pictures of me making it from scrap metal because I try to record everything, And they're like, "All right, next time we need a receipt." I'm like, "There's next time I'm gonna build it again." Like,
Home Depot, fucking $20 for steel.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, they're like, "We need receipts for the steel," and I was like, "This is made from scrap metal in the backyard." Like, and I cut it off of like a trailer fender or something. Like, I don't know, but the whole thing that started this whole project was the one thing mechanically wrong with this bike that just always irked me because it caused problems was I'm running an open primary. It's a Rivera Primo clutch, and it's awesome. I love the clutch. I've never had problems with it, everything, but I did have lots of problems trying to run a starter on the jack shaft. I had teeth on here originally, and the jack shaft would bind in the teeth. And just this is supposed to be a closed primary. You gotta, and that jack shaft that comes out of the starter and turns over the clutch to start the engine, it wants oil. And like this is a dry primary. It's just like there was no way around it. There was no way to fix it unless I bought some like expensive, all one piece kit for the jack shaft, the primary and stuff, but that's thousands of dollars. And it just didn't make sense to me. It didn't look right on the bike because the whole bike's homemade, and just I didn't want this big chrome piece of shit on my bike and they all come in like 2 or 3 inch belts. Like I don't want that. I'm running an 1.5 inch belt. Keep it tight. So naturally, of course, I was like, I'm just gonna spend a lot more than $2,000 and get a kickstart kit and make it kickstart only. Well, if I'm going to do that, might as well take it out of the frame, fix this problem too, and just
start from scratch almost.
Yeah, man, it's hard to leave bikes alone. And I usually like to have 2 running bikes, but I have this really bad issue of I only have 1 running bike at a time. Yeah, I feel like the choppers, you need at least 2 or 3 bikes, and when one's broken, you ride the other one and just keep that momentum going and stuff. And I had 2 running bikes at one point, but it's like, I don't want to ride this one anymore because I can do better. It's lame. It's not really legal. So I just was like, fuck it. Just rip it apart and start over and make it legal and just make it better, in my opinion. I have my skill set's better. And it's going to suck because once I finish this one, I'm probably going to look at my Sportster and be like, I can do better.
Yeah.
And and there's nobody's going to want to buy that thing, dude. Like a lot of people see like, oh, hardtailed Sportster, and like, I don't know, because like choppers are like really personality oriented. Like you're buying a piece of my personality, and you're gonna want to like change it and paint it black, which that's fine. It's your bike if you buy it, but it's just a lot of people want to do it themselves. That's like the whole point of this whole thing.
Yeah, customize it to what they want.
Exactly. So it's like I'm not gonna buy somebody else's job, but there are those people out there that don't have the skill set, or they just don't want to try, and they want a cool bike though. But nothing's worse than when I first got that Sportster. It had a custom paint job on it. A really talented guy painted it, and he did like old school tricks. Like he didn't use metal flake, he used glitter from like Hobby Lobby, and it was beautiful. It was like gold and root beer brown and stuff. That was the only cool part of the bike. It was stock Sportster 10s, and he made it look beautiful though. And then he sold it to the guy I bought it from, who really liked black spray paint. So, but with that is the one cool part of the bike. And as an artist is when you go somewhere and people are like, oh, that's really cool. Did you do that? And you're like, no, I paid somebody to do that. Like, I can't stand that. It's like, but I'm an artist too. And they're like, I don't care.
What did you do? Nothing on your bike?
What did you do? Nothing. What did you do? Write it here? And I'm like, yeah. So I can't handle that because I can do it. But if somebody can't, there's no problem with that. Just
it's hard to buy a bike that's already customized because I want to make it my own. So I buy a stock bike and rip everything off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the first thing I do.
It's cheaper that way too, right? And it's just
you make your money back too. Like you sell the stock tank, stock fenders, and all the turn signals.
That's what that bin is. That is just a bin full of takeoff parts and
stock parts.
Yeah, and a lot of people, and they're crusty, they're old, they're ridden. A lot of people don't want them, but every now and then somebody has a stock Sportster that they don't plan on chopping, and they're like, "Oh, I broke a pulley, or I need a belt," and I'm like,
"Yep."
Here you
$10.
go. $10. Come get it.
And beer money.
But I'm trying to think what else to talk about this particular bike. It's not.
Well, this one we can come back to.
Yeah.
Let's hear the Sportster start up.
Okay. It's a cold start.
Yeah.
It should be fine though. And before I start it, a lot of guys, this is a Prism Supply starter. And a lot of guys don't. It kind of stinks for Prism Supply. I kind of wish that they would sell it in 2 pieces and you weld it to the orientation you want, because it doesn't matter. All this is you don't even need this.
Yeah.
This is just a post that engages the button, right? But I think originally it was going up into this, which is like hitting my exhaust pipe. So I just cut it off and
Rewelded it.
yeah, and I was like, it works fine. Like, I don't know why anybody, I don't know why people don't just do that.
All right, before we started, 2 more questions.
Yep.
What's this mean?
That means it's Latin for if you want peace, there must be war, which is just kind of a stab at human nature, because, I mean, to me, it's just, I don't think there will ever be peace among humanity because we're such war-driven animals, and it's not really a deep meaning to me or anything. I thought like mostly the points cover looked cool.
Yeah.
But, and I also like, I have this thing where I don't speak Latin. I don't write Latin. I don't know Latin, but I like to put stuff in Latin. It's just like little stupid meanings. Not only does it make me look more interesting, I think, but also I think it looks better than English on stuff. It looks, I don't know, fancy and deeper meaning. Like I have one on one of my leather jackets that I made. It says like "Vivit ut partum" on it, and it means just born to create. Like
that's rad.
Yeah, and it's just if I just put "born to create" into the leather, it'd just be kind of like, okay.
But in Latin, it sounds so much cooler.
Latin, it sounds so cool, right? And it's like something old, something cool, right? But that's the same thing. And just, I don't know, I'm in the military, and just, I don't know, it speaks to me a little bit. And I think I've actually had a couple people like, oh, I know that saying, and it sucks. And then peace is going to lead to more war and just,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but
and
then a start.
Yeah. Freaking rad.
Usually she wants to idle, but not right now.
Yeah, it is.
I need to take her around the block if she wants to idle.
No.
The only thing that scares me, if you saw the bars, if your hands aren't on them, this is why I kind of left my welds where I know where they are. I didn't clean them up too much. Not only was it laziness, but it was just that constant
shake.
It doesn't shake when I'm going down the road. It's actually super, and actually this dampens everything because it's so long. Like my hands don't get fatigued or anything from vibration, but if I'm at a stoplight and I take my hands off, that constant is going to cause problems at some point. And I tell you what, it's not just going to fall off when I'm wheeling it out of the garage. It's going to be on the fucking highway. It's going to like
wiggle off. Yep.
And I'm like, oh shit, which has happened to me before. It was terrifying to say the least. It happened to me in St. Louis. But yeah, and that's the thing, man, is too bad it's a Sportster, but it always starts.
Always starts. I didn't even have 2 cranks. It was 1 crank. Easy.
1 crank, yeah. And it's...
Well, tell us about... I did have a few more questions. Keg?
Keg. Yeah. So a lot of people assume that it's a fuel reserve, but it's not. I keep shit in here. I spilled beer in there, actually. And I
smell it.
Yeah, it reeks, dude. It fucking reeks. I have like a baggie for my phone and stuff in case it rains. I don't have a lot of tools in here right now. Since like the excess of like military bases, I have a vest that I've never been told to put on. I have my tilt sensor just in case. Right? You
got to plug it in and get issues. Yeah.
Just shit. I mean, I hate saddlebags. I don't like them. A lot of my dad's bikes have them, and I've ridden my dad's bikes, and just, if you're not running yourself over, wheeling it out of the garage, I don't know, I just think if I needed to carry a bunch of shit in saddlebags. I can't really talk because I have a whole keg on the back of my bike, but
Yeah.
I got to take my car.
Yeah, exactly. Just
But
cruising to work.
I think the main point, like the main reason why I did this, and I wanted like an enclosed storage, is just because I had a sissy bar on the purple bike, and if something isn't easily like strappable to a sissy bar, it's kind of a nightmare to ride with because it wants to fall off, or if it's too small, it wants to fall off, or if it rains so much here, like I would like put stuff in there, like a jacket or clothes or whatever, and it would get soaked. Now all my shit's wet, or like you have a tool bag that's not waterproof, all your tools are wet now. You know, like if I'm going on a long ride, I'll carry a multimeter with me just in case, right? And just I don't want that getting soaked. So, and like this has a weather strip on it. Everything in here, I've ridden through the rain plenty of times here in Hawaii, and it's everything in there stays dry, and just I don't know, makes sense to me. And actually, so we drank this keg here. I lost my $10 deposit fee, if you're wondering. Yeah, so I had like all my. This isn't cool yet because it was in 2025, but this will be cool in fucking 50 years. Yeah. Especially when I'm taking this bike back to the mainland at some point. It's like drink in Hawaii, Oahu, Hawaii, and have all the people who helped me finish the keg.
I love how you put the cap back on there too.
Yeah, actually, I was at a bar. I was getting some drinks with my buddy, and the bartender came out and looked at the bike, loves it, and then he actually was like, "Oh, I got something for you." And he gave me these. It's all the different caps for whatever beer I'm feeling. I'm like, cool, dude.
This is what I'm rocking.
The original one was Big Wave. I got a Big Wave keg.
Oh, that's rad.
But just like,
truly.
Yeah, I was like, thanks, dude. I was like, it's trash, but it's like if I feel like if that one
cracks, yeah, you get more.
Cracks or flies off, I have plenty more because it is just a hole. Like,
oh, the ball's not there anymore.
No, I don't think the ball's in it. I think
Oh yeah,
yeah, it is just a hole. So the original idea with that is I could put my 360 camera, like make a mount in here, and I could just have it stick out of the hole, right? And you could even put if I'm going on a long, beautiful ride, I can have like a charging pack in here with a wire running up to my GoPro or whatever, and it can stick out. I've yet to do it, but that was the original idea. That's why I just drilled it out. And
that's rad. I like that.
Right now, I just clamp it onto my handlebars because I haven't made a mount or anything, and I'm kind of too lazy to.
Yeah, you'll have to send me some of that footage. I'll put it on the video as well.
Okay, yeah. I have plenty of footage of me riding this thing.
And then what is the little? Is that a keg? Or not a keg, but like a.
This is my spare fuel. So
yeah, that's what I figured.
I just made this bracket. So it's zip tied on right now because I wanted to see how good these are.
They'll stay.
Yeah, but without the zip tie, this will come out. But I haven't needed it yet, so I'll cut that zip tie if I need to from tools from inside my keg.
Yeah.
But as of right now, one of these only vibrated open once. So okay. I'm gonna ride it more and see if they really need it, because I can modify these clamps to make it. I'll put like a pin in it or something, or like even just like a big bobby thing that goes in there that won't let them open, because that would suck, right? You run out of gas and they're like, oh, it's okay, I have a spare fuel cell, and then you just come over here and like it's gone.
Forgot about it.
Yeah, it fell off the bike at its own leisure. And yeah, I need to fix that. Look at that coming up.
Yeah, little things about riding. I see your switches now. Here's your
yep, that's just key fob.
And then is that your lights?
Yep, and here's the thing again is, oh, that's actually loose. Look at that. Touch your bikes. It's probably loose. Yeah, I still like to put my lights on a separate circuit because I do run, a lot of people hate on me for this too. I do run like modern LEDs on my bikes. Like I'm not getting like the cool guy halogen, not so bright bulbs that dim when your bike's idling and shit like that. Like just
flickering.
It doesn't work, man. And they're expensive because they're vintage, and it's stupid. I don't like it. I like to be able to see where I'm going, and I like them to be, I don't want problems with my lights, right? And something I didn't do it extreme, but this is just kind of like a thing I've been doing, and I'm going to probably do it on my next bike too. So I like to flare my lights outwards. This one's not too bad. I've seen guys flare them like out completely, Like you might have a dark spot in front of you if you do it too much, but the reason is for this, not so much here because it's not really a problem, but where I'm from, Missouri, and like anywhere in the Midwest really, or just anywhere in America that's kind of open and rural, is deer, animals. If your pipes don't scare them away, at least you'll see them in the ditch before you get to them. It's like this just kind of shines. Like one of my friends, he has one light facing forward and one like kicked out, so he is like lighting up the whole ditch because he lives in the middle of nowhere and he's had deer run out in front of him so many times and stuff. I don't know, I think I have like 4 or 5 friends who've hit wildlife on their bikes because they freeze because of the engine noise and they're like, oh shit, there it is, and they freak out and run out in front of you. So I don't know, it's just weird things that I've picked up.
Actual riding, you know, pick up little things like that.
Yeah. And the biggest thing too, for like, especially if you want a hardtail bike, highway pegs. I kept mids on this bike. A lot of guys run forwards on their bikes, which gives you more room. I'm like 6 feet tall, and mids are kind of awkward. But with my seat raised, it's not too bad. My knees are up a little bit, but the real perk of that is if there's a huge bump that I don't feel like taking in my spine, I just stand up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dirt bike pegs. I just stand up and I let the bike take it. Hopefully it doesn't fold in half under me. It didn't. Cool. Sit back down. But the biggest point with the highway pegs is, especially riding a hardtail, you will get sore. Like your spine and your tailbone will start to hurt and stuff after a couple hours of riding. Just being able to put a foot up somewhere and shift your weight on your butt is a game changer. Like it will add hours to your ride. You won't feel crippled when you get off either, because you can move that. You can move that weight. Like that was a game changer for me, because I got tired of having my feet in the same spot, to the point where I was just putting my foot up on the primary cover, or
just something different.
Yeah, put my foot up here just to relax.
Yeah.
But
I can't stretch at the gas station 50 miles from now.
yeah, you can stretch at the gas station. But then the worst part is sometimes it doesn't hurt when you get off the bike. It hurts when you get back on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
and then you get the cramp. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel fine. Then you sit on it and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize I was hurting this bad. But it takes away from the tough guy points. But I also have met some of those folks, and they're in their 80s now, and they're not doing so hot. So
yeah.
they're all walking around like this, and their shit hurts. And I mean, if I was that worried about it, I wouldn't hardtail my bikes. But
yeah, well, old school style with the creature comforts of a feature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the whole point of the hardtail is like simplicity, man. Like making your bike simple. Less moving parts is better.
Yeah, sometimes lasting longer, less rubber grommets and little
just
things.
Less stuff to check. And also just makes building easy, so much easier. Like this is the first hardtail bike that I've built, because my last one was a softail, and just I've worked on other bikes before that weren't Harleys, like Kawasaki's and stuff. They all have like shaft drive and swing arms. It's just like, it's a lot of shit, and if you fuck up that alignment, like you're gonna know about it. And I don't know, it's just cool. This is one piece. I don't have to worry about anything back here anymore.
Yeah, super rad.
Another thing I highly recommend, and a lot of people don't like them or they feel like they don't need them, is a chain tensioner. And just, especially if you're going to run a chain, like people just say, oh, make your rear sprocket tighter. Just like pull it back, make your chain real tight. The chain still wobbles, man. It wobbles. It's noisy. Because I didn't have a chain tensioner on here before, and you can't really see it. And I thought I measured right, but I didn't. But my chain was going up and down, and it was hitting my oil tank. See, I did measure right, but I didn't think about chain wobble, and it was a lot without that chain tensioner. Like to the point where I was on the highway, and you'd hear, and I'm like, oh shit! And this is my oil tank. Next thing you know, my bike's gonna seize up because I don't have any fucking oil on it, because all of that chewed out. That's something that once I overhaul this bike and repaint it, I'll cut in like a nice big notch and
do a notch and fix it. Yeah.
But this right here fixed it. I don't have any problems anymore, and it's nice. Now my chain's quiet. That is just a skateboard wheel, and the reason I did that is so I have spacers on my sprocket and my rear sprocket just to get it further away from the tank, just because that's a problem right now. But the reason I ran skateboard wheels, now I don't have to worry about alignment so much on the tensioner itself, as well as I kept the stock battery tray mount for rigidity, as well as the holes in here are slotted, so I can, no matter what sprockets I use or anything, I can slide this back and forth to make it align to this perfectly.
Yeah, that's simple. That's super easy. I know I'm gonna have to have you help me with mine.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, dude. You can a lot of these modern tensioners are just so awesomely built and overbuilt. You can mount them pretty much any way that fits on the bike, and it'll do its job.
Did you do this back brake?
Yeah. I fabricated the mechanical linkage and everything. So that's a stock Harley master cylinder, and it's really cool because you notice it's not as big as most master cylinders.
Yeah, it's super small.
And that's because it has a reservoir hidden right here, and it's a stock Harley reservoir. And I have it hidden behind my tank. So that's the reservoir for it. So, and it's basically, so this is where I'm actually like, I applaud Harley, because you can put this anywhere, any angle, anything, and it doesn't matter because it has its own reservoir. And all you have to do is keep your reservoir topped off. And like, I've even had this where like the brake still works, but the reservoir is empty. Yeah. Like there's still fluid in here, but like
it's like sport bikes. Sport bikes do that too.
And the reason I did it like this is because the most problems that I've had on my purple bike was brake line problems, and just like brake bleeding was a pain in the ass because I had the forward controls and the big reservoir on it, and I ran a brake line all the way back to the brakes on the other side on Big Twins. But it's just like bleeding. It took forever because the brake line was so long, and I had the pressure switch in there for the brakes and stuff. It's just, I don't know. So I was like, I want the shortest brake line possible and mechanical linkage, and this work, like, I got to be careful because this will lock up that rear wheel. And I'm like, shit, stock OEM brakes too.
Yeah.
Like aftermarket brakes, I don't care. I mean, Brembos, and like if you want to dump some big money and like a performance machine, like, yeah, those brakes will stop. Those are good, but they cost a lot. So like I try to reuse stock Harley stuff, and also the best part is if they break, I call Harley and I'll get stock parts that will fit my stock brakes.
Yeah, and their stock parts work great.
Yeah, their brakes are...
Their newer ones, yeah.
Yeah, because the one thing that I like that's kept up with modern standards on Harleys, you know, with emissions and whatnot, is their brakes stop.
Yeah, too good almost sometimes.
Yeah. You know how to use them. And I'm trying to think. Oh, another thing, especially with like these head breather. So Harley, I don't know when they started doing it. I think they started doing it in the 90s. By design, your head breathers, to let out excess pressure and stuff, it's atomized oil. They just fed it straight into the carburetor to just burn off the oil by design, because they wanted their Harleys to stop puking oil. Mm-hmm. To, you know, mother nature and stuff.
Yeah.
Get rid of that immediately, because what will happen if you have like oil flow issues or you know, excess oil in your engine or just anything, it's going to puke a shit ton of oil into your carburetor, into your heads. You're going to be burning oil. But if you know anything about that, well, first off, your carburetor is going to hate it. It's too high viscosity for it. And second off, if you don't acknowledge the problem immediately, you can burn out your pistons just burning oil. You know, it will crud everything up and ruin your valves, it'll ruin your pistons, but they did that by design. It's stupid. So I just got a breather kit, and I routed the oil lines down to my chain. So if I do have any excess oil, it just pukes it onto my chain and lubes my chain, and
that's super smart. I like that.
It makes sense to me. Like, where else? And that's the thing too, is like a chain's gonna have lube on it regardless. Like it's gonna, like if you put oil on your chain, it's gonna sling oil regardless. And emissions don't care about that. I mean, Highway Patrol doesn't care about that. So like, why not just keep? I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. But
no, it's rad what you did though. Keeping in, and I mean, emissions after what is it, 25 years now? They don't even care about it anymore.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. And we're almost pushing that. Well, this is what, 06?
Yeah.
You got like 5 more years. That's rad. What would you say your favorite part on this bike is?
The frame. I think just because if you look at, like, if you go on like Google Images and like Google like 2004 to 2000, whatever, like everything after 2004, like hardtailed, these frames are ugly. Like, these are just ugly fucking frames. There's like the huge backbone and just everything, like the motor mounts and just everything about them is just so ugly. And I start all my builds on paper because like I started all this stuff being an artist, And I just start everything on paper. So I was like, okay, how can I make this? Because I want to use a stock frame. This was a very cheap project because I already had a running bike. And I do everything in-house. I think this whole project maybe cost me like $300. And that's for like, because I reuse the same wheels. No, I'd say more than that. I'd say like $700 because I forgot about my front end and tires and stuff. Yeah, maybe $700. But over a course of 5 months, it's like nothing for a bike of this custom nature.
So you're saying after you paid for the bike, you only spent $700 and you got this?
Mm-hmm. Because think about it. I mean, I wouldn't even consider the keg like a part, man. I bought the keg. I drank it.
You can do that anyway.
To me, the keg cost $10 because that was my deposit fee.
Yeah.
I got a keg's worth of beer when I got it.
Yeah.
And I already had the engine and stuff. Like I bought the bike years ago for like $1,000 or something like that. But I reused the stock carburetor and I didn't have to open up the engine at all. And I rebuilt the back cylinder because it was leaking. But other than that, that's a cheap gasket, and I reused the same rims, the same forks except for the extended down tubes. I built everything else. But yeah, I'd say the frame, because I was like, what can I do to make this frame not look like shit when I hardtail it? And then I came up with the molded frame idea, and I was like, yeah, I've never molded a frame. It makes sense to me because like metal work and body work's like kind of my bread and butter. It's like the whole reason why I do anything. Is like it's an excuse to paint something, I think, really, and paint something because nothing bothers me more because I do artwork on canvases and that too. But the worst part about that is it stays in my house. Like it stays in the hallway in my house, and just like my wife sees it.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is something that like people can like, even if they didn't know that they were interested in art, you are writing a piece of art. And I've had people like, I want to make something like this just because like it's doable. It's not hard. Also too, just riding something that you built in your garage is just so much more fun than riding a stock bike.
Oh yeah.
I haven't ridden a stock bike in probably years other than your mini bike, I think.
Yeah.
Just like
those aren't even stock.
Yeah, those aren't even stock. And like, actually, no, let me think. The last stock bike I rode was my dad's Road King, and he's got that one like hot rodded, but it's still a stock Road King, and it was fucking boring. Like we were going like 90 on the freeway, and I'm just like,
cool,
meh. Like, this sucks. This is boring. Like I'm falling asleep. But I'm going, 30 miles an hour on this, and it's like, I don't know, you get off the bike and you're shaking a little bit, and it's just, because it's like, how much do you trust yourself? And just, two, it's just nothing beats riding like on the highway, and there's like a car full of like kids or something, like the parents don't want to make eye contact with you, but the kids in the backseat are like waving and like, mom, like that's so cool. Like, I don't know, it's just... Because, let's say you're just going to the grocery store or something. Now it's an event because you're riding a whole circus.
Yeah, it's super rad. Dude, I love it. There's nothing better. I think I ride a bike stock for maybe 5 miles and then make sure it runs through actually, when I'm test driving it, run it through the gears. Cool, it works.
Yeah.
Put it in the garage and rip everything off.
Yeah. Start over from scratch.
Well, dude, this is an awesome thing. I appreciate you letting me come over here and check it out.
Yeah, anytime, dude.
I'll post up all your social media, and then the art. You remember the guy?
Frank FRAZETTA.
There it is. Frank
FRAZETTA. How could you forget his name? Yeah. and apparently, like, I've loved his work always since I was a kid and stuff. Because like this is like his artwork is like chesty women and like tiger loincloths and just like Vikings with axes and stuff, and like space girls with like ray guns and shit. It is made for the teenage boy mind. It is wonderful. It is awesome. It's sexy, and just like, so I've always been a fan of it. And I was like, I got a wife and stuff, and I'm not really about that life anymore. So I was like, I want like a war scene, which makes sense with the points cover. So I put that on there, and then just comes to find out a lot of chopper people love his artwork, and like I'm not the first person to put Frank FRAZETTA on my gas tank, which I don't care, it fits. But that's one of the secrets I'm talking about. A lot of people think like, do you airbrush that on there? And I'm like, you can lie and say, yeah, like this guy's a god, No, I didn't. I usually tell people exactly how I did it and how to do it. Because the first time I saw it, I thought somebody airbrushed something on there. I asked it, and they're like, yeah, I did. And I'm like, but now I know how to do it, and I found out how to do it. And I'm like, that guy fucking lied to me.
Yeah, they don't keep their secrets.
Yeah.
So that's what we were talking about before the battery cut out.
Yeah,
Secrets. That's
secrets.
right.
And it's like, no, he just straight up lied to my face. And like what a shithead, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's cheating a little bit, but you can do stuff this was difficult. I've never seen anybody do this where it's like, so this comes off in like a big temporary tattoo, and you put it on there, and once it is a temporary tattoo, you can X-Acto knife and cut it off. So it's like, I want the flake paint that's behind it to look like it's in the picture, which I had to cut out his arm, the axe to go over the flake paint, and then it was a nightmare, but it was worth it, and it looks cool.
It's so cool, man.
Because I wanted him to like pop on there. I wanted him to like stick out a little bit.
And it's like 3D because
the tank is like exactly. I was like, when I saw that picture, like, this is the perfect angled picture. Like this little skull over here gets rid of the negative space, and like this guy's sword and this axe gets rid of the negative space over here. And I color matched it as best as I could with the orange. It's okay.
No, it blends perfectly. I love it. Well, heck yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude.